Hi, I'm Rенdi Šreder. You guys all know me, and I'm going to tell all of you out there that are watching us on video that this group is staged. You know, when I taught you how to invite, I said that at your very first home business review or tasting party, you should have people there who are just there because they love you. Well, these people are here just because they love me. They're here because I said we're going to make a video to teach people around the world what our business is, and so I thank you guys each for being here. And all those of you, whoever you are on planet Earth, that are now learning about Monavi for the first time in a significant fashion, I want to thank you for investing this short time. And I want to thank your host and hostess, wherever they are in the world, for opening their home and inviting you to be here. You listened to a short audio, and on that short audio, which was called Your First Look at Monavi, I posed a couple of questions to you. One question that I asked is if you're currently earning income full-time or part-time. And I know these people. I know that Todd, for example, is in the real estate industry. And as a participant in the real estate industry, what Todd has is transactional income, right? You work, you work, you work, you work. Sometimes you close the deal and sometimes you don't. It's transactional income. And one can do very well in transactional income. But it's also possible to have long periods without any income at all, correct? That's the reality. Carly is an employee at a large, successful company. Carly's income could be considered permanent to the degree that she shows up and works until she dies, right? I mean, that's the degree to which her income is permanent. It's permanent based on her willingness to show up there again and again and again. She's an employee at a very large company. She, to a degree, has security, but we know the realities. There are a lot of people who once felt they had job security who have seen that job security just simply go away. Simone was an elite athlete, right? An elite athlete. And I'll bet that when you were 20, you couldn't imagine the day that you were 32 and it would all end. When you were 20, it seemed it would go on forever. But the time was fleeting, wasn't it? It was fast. It was fleeting. And suddenly, it was gone. It was over. And so now Simone has become a massage therapist, and she specializes in working with elite athletes. But isn't it true that you get paid only during the hours that you work? And isn't it also true that there's a limitation to how many hours you can work doing what you do because of your own physical constraints? There's a limitation. In none of these examples that I've cited so far do I believe it's likely that wealth will be created. I don't believe that it's likely. It's maybe in a remote way possible in transactional income, not likely as an employee of a major corporation, not likely providing a service, whatever that service is. And here we have Dr. Yaroslav Bublik, and of course he's a product expert. He knows and understands the value of the product, and I'm so thrilled that he's involved with our business. But JB, you've been a product expert, a scientist for years and years and years. Has that yet for you as an individual resulted in financial security and freedom? That's not the way that really works. And here we have my wife, Tara. Oh, and she's doing pretty good. Anyway, you know, I contemplate who you might be and what causes you to be here. And I'm just hoping so much that in our few minutes together, we can further your willingness to have your mind be open. You know, I think back of these years ago when I first got involved in the industry, and I had some of the same doubts and fears that everyone else has, but those of you who know me well know the realities. In the last 20 years, my earnings have been in the millions and millions and millions of dollars year after year after year. And Tara and I and our family have enjoyed a quality of life that is almost unimaginable. What I would hope for each of you is that you have some measure of that quality of life. And what has made it possible? The network marketing industry has made it possible. And when I say the network marketing industry, I know that brings every thought into people's minds. When you say you're a scientist, it feels good, right? That feels good. When you're an elite athlete, that feels good. It's easy to say that you work at one of the finest real estate firms in America, right? Those things are easy. For me, it's a whole lot easier to say that I'm a professional in the network marketing industry because I know what you get on that side of the desk, and I know what's possible on this side of the desk. I also know that being involved in the industry is one thing, but being involved with Monavi is quite different. At Monavi, we actually have what is known in the company as a 5-star opportunity. And one thing I would ask you all as you review this material is, could you imagine, as Tara and I have opened our home and invited a handful of friends over, could you imagine opening your home and inviting a handful of friends over? Could you imagine that? And could you imagine simply allowing them to decide for themselves whether or not they would like to add something to their financial future? And it doesn't mean you got to stop being involved in the real estate industry. It doesn't mean you have to stop being an employee of a major corporation. You can keep right on being a massage therapist. But if I can show you a way to make some additional money and perhaps someday, one day, completely replace it, are you open to that? I'm glad that I was open to that those years ago. And what is this 5-star opportunity that is Monavi? The first is the right product. And you know, I've been in this industry for a long time, and for so long I have struggled in the industry and built the business almost in spite of the product. I believe the contents of this bottle are exactly perfect for this network marketing industry. And you know, I'll be very, very careful here, because I'm not going to suggest to any of you what your own product outcome might be. I don't know what will occur when you drink this juice. I don't know. What I can tell you is that here we have a blend of 19 fruits, and that there are people literally around the world who report remarkable personal benefits from consuming it. We don't sell medicine, we don't sell drugs, we sell fruit juice. But you know what? The contents of this bottle include the acai berry. By the way, the acai fruit has become a popularized fruit. People talk about it all around the world now. Our company, Monavi, is not one that capitalizes on the fact that it's a hot nutrient. Our company, Monavi, I think could be given the credit for having made it a hot nutrient. We're really the ones that brought it to market and made it popular. And so my simple encouragement to each of you is to try a bottle. And I'll invite each of you, and I'll invite each of you who now review this video, if nothing else happens today, if nothing occurs except that you buy a bottle of juice, if nothing happens except that, then I really believe that your time here will have been well spent. Wherever you are in the world, whoever home you're in, I really believe your time was well spent today if you just buy a bottle of juice. And take that bottle of juice home and drink it. Drink 2 ounces in the morning and drink 2 ounces at night. And when the bottle is all gone, if you find yourself wanting another bottle, then you just prove to yourself the validity of this business. Because now you can imagine, if you invite a handful of friends over to your home, if they took a bottle of juice home, if when it was all gone they wanted another, then because of one of the other stars in this opportunity, the compensation mechanism, you could start to generate income. And so now, for my friends that are here with me, I want to invite you to join me in trying some Monavi juice. And I will tell you that the reasons that I've described the product as being so perfect for our industry, cheers, is because, first of all, I love the simplicity. I handed you a glass of juice and you all seemed to know intuitively and automatically what to do with it. You all knew how to drink juice. It was pretty easy. I love the simplicity of the message. I watched your faces. I didn't see anybody drink the juice and think that was nasty. The juice is good, isn't it? Juice is good. You know, people like the juice. Now, why does that matter? I want you to imagine that you, in fact, engaged in this business. You know, Tara and I said yes to this business idea. And by the way, I should clarify what my role is here. I've been in the network marketing industry as a distributor for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years in just a few weeks. And I was so very, very lucky that in August of 2008, I became a distributor in Monavi. And then after a year, my dear friend, Alan Larson, who's one of the founders of this company, asked me if I'd be willing to change my role. He said, Randy, would you be willing to stop being a distributor and become what we call the International Distributor Ambassador for Monavi, so that your knowledge and experience can benefit all of the international distributors of the company? And so that's who I am. I'm the International Distributor Ambassador, but you know, Tara and I said yes to this company as a distributor, and during those 52 weeks that we grew the business, what we did is we invited some people over to our home and had them try a glass of juice. And some of those people went home and drank the bottle all gone, and sure enough, they wanted a second bottle. Some of them got involved in the business. They called their friends. They did the same thing. Believe it or not, 52 weeks later, there were 70,000 people in our business. Can you imagine that? 70,000 people. JB, on whose efforts do you get paid? Yours. Simone, on whose efforts do you get paid? Oh, and Carly, on whose efforts do you get paid? And? Now, isn't that something? You guys all tell me. You decide for yourselves. Would you rather get paid on the efforts of one, or if there was a way, would you rather get paid on the efforts of 1,000? That's not a hard decision, is it? You know, so many people, I tell them I'm involved in the network marketing industry, and they look at me like that's not as good. I say, wait a minute. It's so much better. What I found out, there came a time in my life when I realized that no matter how good I was and how hard I worked, getting paid on one guy's efforts is not getting as good as getting paid on the efforts of many. And what if, besides getting paid on the efforts of many, what if you could get paid on the consumption of many? What if it was 10? What if it was 20? What if it was 20,000? You see, the first star in Monavi is the product. And this product is incredible for our business. And once again, whether you be here in my home today or whether you be out there in the world somewhere, my simple invitation to you is to buy a bottle of juice, consume it. When the bottle's all gone, if you want another one, imagine that playing its way out over the course of the next few years. Imagine what happens when people consume the juice. They don't just love it, but they have some remarkable benefit from that consumption. Then you know what happens? They find themselves compelled to pick up the phone and call another. You drop a pebble in a pond, the ripples spread, and before you know it, your income has taken on a different quality and characteristic. I am so grateful that someone opened my eyes to that possibility a number of years ago. Well, the first star in Monavi is a product, and I will tell you that it is the principal star. That is the principal star. Without that one, and all the rest of it could not come to be. The second star is management. And here, I do have a unique advantage because I've known the people who started Monavi for literally 40 years. Dallin Larson and Randy Larson and I have been friends literally since we were children. And you know what? Sometimes trust takes a long time to develop. I wish that I could snap my fingers and cause you guys to know what I know. But these are people of goodwill. These are people who are entrepreneurial and brilliant. And it's not just that they know how to start a business, they've evidenced an ability to run and manage a business. Monavi has grown from nothing to over $1.5 billion in accumulated sales in its first 4 years. It literally is a juggernaut, the likes of which has never before been seen in our industry. And the combination of Dallin Larson, Randy Larson, Del Brown, who is our Chief Operating Officer and President, is absolutely brilliant. His attention to detail, I think, is remarkable. Devin Thorpe, you know, it's not just about generating volume, but it's about creating a profitable business and running the business in such a way that we can be confident that our income is here and it's permanent and it's secure. I have such deep respect and personal affection for the management team. And there are so many others, so many more names that I could mention. You know, Henry Marsh is the other founder of the company, a 4-time Olympian. I mean, did you hear that? A 4-time Olympian. How good do you have to be, Simone, to be in the Olympics 4 times? How good?
Exceptional.
Have to be just unbelievable, don't you? And how much dedication, how much commitment. That is abnormal, isn't it? That is unusual. Unusual people own and operate this company. And because unusual people own and operate the company, it creates an unusual opportunity for those of us who are lucky enough to find our way into the door. The first star in Monavi is a product, and I love this product. The second star in Monavi is a management team. The third star is timing. And so now, I contemplate you out there in the world, wherever you are, and I would like for you to tell me what you think about the timing. Monavi has gone from nothing to over $1.5 billion in sales in the United States, mostly in the United States in the last 4 years, and now begins an international expansion. Here it comes. Remember I said this thought of dropping a pebble in a pond? Well, if you drop a pebble in a pond and the pond's the size of a bathtub, the ripples don't go very far. Well, these owners of Monavi, they dropped a pebble in a pond in the United States, and it grew from state to state to state. And you know what? Now it's reached the borders, and it's found its way across the Atlantic Ocean, and it's found its way across the Pacific Ocean. It's found its way north, and it's found its way south. And while today, Monavi's sales are mostly in the United States, more than 80%, I think, as of the time of this recording, while I am absolutely certain that Monavi's sales and revenues will continue to thrive in the United States, the international arena will become increasingly important to our company year after year. Why? Because the word is out. The word is out. People all around the world are clamoring for this product. They're clamoring for this company. They're clamoring for this opportunity. And so you tell me, what do you think about the timing? Here's a company where all the risks are gone. They have shattered every single record. They have a product that is increasingly well known around the world, that is demanded, it is sought after, a management team that is proven, a company that has shattered every record, and now it's coming to your nation, and you get a chance to be among the first. You get a chance to be among the founding members of the leadership hierarchy. Wow. I mean, how I wish I could just snap my fingers and get my head to yours, you know? That's what it's about. I just taught you all there is to know about network marketing timing. Put yourself in front of something that's going to occur anyway. Stop trying to make something happen. Get in front of something that's going to happen anyway. Then become one of the reasons that it happens a little more quickly. That's it. That is what makes success more abundantly possible than in any other environment. The first star, then, is a product that matters to people. The second star is a management team. The third star is timing, and I'm going to add something. Timing that is clear, that is obvious, that is beyond refute. I don't ever hear somebody tell me, well, no, Randy, I think that the timing's bad. I don't hear them say that. When they hear that this company's coming to my market, wherever that market is, wow, no kidding, it's coming to Israel and I get to be one of the first. It's coming to Poland and I get to be one of the first. It's coming to the UK and I get to be first. No kidding. Nobody ever says, well, I think that's bad time. You know, that's so easy to understand. timing. Then the next one is the compensation plan. And you know, if there's one area where I suppose I have special expertise, it is in network marketing compensation. And I can tell you that there are elements of brilliance in this compensation plan that are not expressed anywhere else. And what I like to do when we discuss compensation is not to teach you how it works, but instead to just ask you to find yourself. I mean, Monavi is an interesting company. It actually publishes the incomes that are earned at each rank. And so all one need to do is look at the income disclosure statement. If you want to make $50,000 a year, well, find what that means on this income disclosure statement, and then ask the person who's introducing you to the business to show you how to make that designation in the comp plan. If you want to make $50,000 a month, find what that means on the income disclosure statement. Believe it or not, Monavi actually publishes the numbers. There are people in Monavi that earn more than $100,000 per week, not month. You find yourself. Find yourself. Where do you want to be? And we can show you what that means in our company from a compensation plan standpoint, and then we can then teach you the basic steps you'll need to take in order to move towards those compensation plan ranks. The Monavi compensation plan, I'll state it again, in my estimation has elements of brilliance that have not previously been expressed in this industry. And one of the things that I love about Monavi is that we don't ask you to leap in blind faith. We show you what has occurred. This is what's actually happening now. This is what happened I think every 6 months is when it's updated. This is what's happening right now. It's current, it's fresh. And so you need only show me where do you want to be, and we can guide you through a series of steps. We can show you what the people have done that have made that compensation plan designation that you seek. And so you see the first star in Monavi is the product, and I absolutely love it. The second star in Monavi is a management team, and I can tell you that I absolutely love them. I do. They are my friends. I love them. But I also have great respect for the management capacity. The third star is timing, and I think I may have gotten those two out of order in the way Monavi typically describes it, but it's okay, is timing. Timing that is clear, that is obvious, that is beyond refute. The fourth star is a compensation plan that fairly distributes income and that provokes correct behaviors. And the fifth star is a proper cause. It took me a long time to figure this out, but if my work and my efforts and my labors are all about me, there will be a certain outcome. If, on the other hand, my work and my efforts and my labors start to become about someone else, then somehow the cosmos bend, and it creates a different outcome. I'm quite certain that one of the reasons for Monavi's stunning and dramatic success is that Monavi has chosen to give back so aggressively. The Monavi More project is the fifth star. That's the cause. And I'm a lucky person because next week I will be in Rio de Janeiro and I will be at the More project. This Monavi company has achieved its level of success because of the dramatic impact that the product has made on so many. That acai berry comes from Brazil. And so Dallin and Carrie Larson and the other founders of the company decided in the earliest days that they would give back to Brazil. And the More project, Monavi's Operation Rescue, is the way that they give back. And Monavi distributors around the world participate in that giving back to that very, very important cause. You've heard about Monavi from me, from the perspective of an individual. And you know, it's really hard to hear one individual and get an understanding of the dynamics of what this company is. And so now in just a few moments, this will transition from just me talking. And you will instead view another video segment. And that video segment is called The Momentum. And there you will meet other distributor leaders. You will actually have a little tour of the More project. You'll gain a further understanding of what makes the product separate, distinct, and unique. And my simple invitation to each of you is to ask yourself this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your interest in participation in this kind of a venture? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, Todd, if 1 is I have no interest whatsoever, to 10, I want to do this, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would your interest lie in being involved in something like this?
I have to say 11. I
Okay.
only moved to 10.
Okay, so Todd said an 11. And remember, he's here because he loves me. So who knows? But you know what? Whenever I ask anybody on a scale of 1 to 10, where does your interest lie? For anyone who says, my interest is a 7 or above, I can tell you candidly that your next correct step is to get involved. And you can determine for yourself what that means over time. What does it mean? Does it mean that you remain actively and aggressively involved in some other business for a long time, and this is a secondary income? You know, one thing that I have found out, whether it be people living in affluence like Tara and I are blessed to live in, or whether it be people living in obvious difficult financial circumstance, I don't meet people who don't need more. Almost everybody I meet needs more. So many people fall into the trap of having their lifestyle go up at the same pace as their income. And especially in economic environments like today, as soon as the income backs off 5%, even those that we perceive as wealthy need more. And it was so interesting for Tara and I. I mean, we're living here in really one of the most affluent environments you can possibly imagine. And 2 days ago, we were walking down the street, and 3 doors down, there's a Monavi distributor. Why? Because they need more. You know, it's an amazing thing. So anybody that's on a scale of 1 to 10 says I have an interest of 7 or more, my simple invitation to you is that's the information that we would need in order to enroll you and put you into the system. Now, at the conclusion of the Momentum DVD, which is going to take only, I think, 10 or 11 minutes for you to review, here is what I encourage you to tell your host or hostess. First, tell them thank you for opening your home and inviting me here. Second, tell them thank you for considering me, for giving me this chance. And third, tell them that as you leave, you'd like to walk out the door with something to read. Tell them that you'd like to leave with something to watch. I recommend that you leave with a DVD called 20 Years. I think it would really help you further your understanding. Tell them you'd like to leave with something to listen to. And I think a great thing for you to listen to would be the Getting Started CD, because Todd, all we've talked about today is what the business is. We haven't talked at all about how to do it. And I think that if you were to just glance through the Getting Started brochure with that CD, that would go a long ways to help crystallize things in your mind. And finally, first in importance, but last in order of my discussion, is do not leave without taking home a bottle of juice. Drink it. After you drink it, if you want a second, call the person who invited you and say, I'm ready to get started. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. I look forward to our association.